Thank you, Your Honor. We are present in the state of Ohio versus Stephen Lowe on case 25 CR 1669. We are here today for purposes of sentencing, and the defendant is in court represented by counsel Jim Reardon. When we were last here on April 23rd, the defendant waived indictment and pled guilty by way of information to count 1 being felonious assault, a felony of the 2nd degree. The court referred the defendant for a pre-sentence report and victim impact statement and scheduled sentencing for today. Those reports have been completed and the state is prepared to proceed with sentencing.
Thank you, Mr. Reardon.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. Everything in it appeared accurate to me. We are prepared to go forward as well, and I'm prepared to make a statement on behalf of Mr. Lowe if the court is ready for it.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to point out, most important for the court, that Mr. Lowe, who I've gotten to know now over a period of many months, excuse me, has done nothing but take this matter extremely seriously. It has caused him a great deal of anxiety, and he has agonized over these proceedings greatly, and all of the decisions we've made herein have been thought over carefully before making them. But most important, I know that he feels terrible about the incident that occurred. He's made that clear to me. He's made that clear to those he has spoken to, including probation department. He'll state that for the court and for the victim here today. I know he regrets that day greatly. It has obviously come with some great consequences here. Mr. Lowe is now, although he has a completely clean record throughout his whole life and he's over 60 years of age, he's now a convicted felon and he's not going to be able to change that. He, again, there's no prior anything. I think when I read the pre-sentence report, I think there might have been one speeding ticket, perhaps. But I believe in this circumstance, a community control sanction is very appropriate, and I do believe by agreement that'll be a joint recommendation. The only part of that is not specifically agreed to is whether it includes a term of jail. And I am advocating and asking the court to not impose any time in jail. I believe that makes sense here. I'm asking the court, if the court disagrees with me, that if the court feels that a jail sentence is needed, that the court consider deferring it to a later date, perhaps allowing time to go by and circumstances, if Mr. Lowe is on community control, to address any and other matters he may have. He's certainly willing to be involved in any out-of-pocket costs that may be there for the victim in this case. Certainly, I don't think we're talking about that in this matter, but certainly there may be other matters that occur that we would be addressing at some point. But most important, you're going to hear from Mr. Lowe, and he is going to echo what I'm telling you, which is that this was a very unfortunate incident. He's very disappointed about it. He's been nothing but remorseful about it and taken full accountability, and he'll express that to the court and to the victim. And I think that what I'm advocating for in this circumstance is reasonable, Your Honor, and I'd ask you to please consider it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lowe. What do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
Okay, I'm just a little bit nervous. I had a couple notes. I am very sorry. And, you know, I did not mean any malintent. I did not mean for you to go to the ground. But I'm not making any excuses. You know, had I truly known your knee was cut when I helped you up after you went to the ground, I would have insisted on taking you to urgent care right then. I don't want you to think that I knew you were cut and just let you go. I did watch you take a couple steps and it seemed like you were okay. But had I known you were injured, I didn't find out until the police had told me And at that point, they wouldn't allow me to make any contact with you at all. So I couldn't even call you on the phone and say, Dick, I'm sorry. This has been killing me. And I consider you a great friend. We've been friends for 4 years. We played golf. I think I played with you more than any of the other people that we were with. And we were always getting paired up together. And we had so many great times together. And, I'm sorry. That's all I want to say.
All right, Ms. Leshy.
Your Honor, prior to addressing the court, the victim would like to speak.
Okay.
Your Honor, where would you like me to stand?
You can stay right there.
I've been in this courtroom many, many times. This is the first time without a lawyer suit. Hard to believe it. Hard to believe it happened. It's been traumatizing for my wife and me. I have no idea why Steve does these things. He's attacked me verbally before viciously, never with provocation. And I don't understand it. This time was the first time physically. And he pushed me through me now, it's in the video. Notwithstanding all of that, I'm asking the court not to send Steve to prison. That's my wish. I think it would further traumatize me to see him go to prison. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, the victim's wife would like to speak
Okay.
as well.
I had not planned to say anything today. And I'm the victim's wife. I had not planned to say anything today. But I have to express how incredibly traumatizing this was to our family. I hope no other wife has the experience of sending their husband off to a nice round of golf on a Tuesday, having come home to a bloody husband that we had to spend the rest of the night in the emergency room. So I went from sending a golfer off to bringing home my husband on a walker in a cast we did not go home till 6 a.m. after an incredible night. And just the trauma of that. And what worries me about him is that he threw, the next thing is that I had to watch a video of this man throwing my husband on the ground, grabbing him back up. Says he helped him, but he grabbed him back up, stood him up, turned around and walked away with no concern whether he was okay to drive home or anything. And what would he do, just because he said something to him, what would he do if a 2-year-old is having a temper tantrum or a 12-year-old cuts him off in traffic or whatever? It just was an extraordinarily traumatic experience for the two of us and for our children and the rest of our family. This has been very, very difficult. And by the way, his recovery was months, and he still has a large scar on his knee and a scar on our soles. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Leshy.
Thank you, Your Honor. For purposes of the record, prior to coming to court and in chambers, the state did provide the court with a copy of the assault that was captured on video, and we did review that in chambers. Pursuant to the plea agreement in this case, the state is recommending community control sanctions with a term of local incarceration not to exceed 30 days. Thank you.
Is there any restitution order?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report as well as several letters presented by Mr. Reardon on behalf of Mr. Lowe. And I've listened to Mr. and Mrs. Oro speak, the defendant, both counsel. seems rather incomprehensible how this happens, especially if you guys have been golfing together for all these years. But it happened, and here we are. I have considered all of the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. And Mr. Reardon correctly notes your record. You don't have a record. You got a speeding ticket in 18. That's the extent of it. So it's clearly something that never should have happened. It wasn't something that was planned. It was something that happened for whatever reason in the heat of a discussion, whatever that discussion was. And I did, as Ms. Alessi indicated, watch the video before I came in. So in consideration of all the information and the applicable statutes, I'm going to place you on community control for a year. You're going to serve a day in jail with credit for 1. I'm going to order that you get a mental health evaluation and follow all recommendations. You're to have no contact with the victim, and you're to pay the costs and supervision fees associated with this case. Ms. Randallson, any other terms you think are applicable?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lowe, do you understand the terms?
Yes.
If you don't comply, and it's rather simple, okay? There's, you get an evaluation, you follow whatever they suggest as a course of treatment, and you don't have any contact, that's it. Okay, but if you don't comply with that, then the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. If I find you violate, then you face a potential of 8 years in prison. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, is there anything else, Ms. Alessi?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Reardon?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.
All right.